Francis Financial Services. Um, and you can connect with me on social media. You can hang out with me on Facebook, Instagram. That's my picture. If you're looking for me, that's how you're going to find me. Tonight, so excited to have one of the hardest working women in America, honey. I mean, the hardest working woman in America, Miss Aaliyah Fields, with us tonight, honey. And we're going to be talking about creating generational tax exempt wealth. This is going to be some heavy stuff, some good stuff, and I know you're going to be blessed by it. A little bit about me: born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, graduated from St. John's University in Queens, New York. Also graduated from Payne Theological Seminary in Xenia, Ohio. Very involved in ministry. I'm the owner of Francis Financial Services, where we provide mortgage lending, credit coaching, life insurance, tax preparation. Been in the industry for 15 years. So I'm not new to this. I've been true to this, baby. I've been swinging this axe for a very long time, baby. So my passion, I love meeting new people. I love helping individuals and families stabilize their finances and achieve their financial goals. One cool thing about me, fun fact, I worked in the same building as Bernie Madoff in New York, same building. However, we do not share the same ethical values. I don't scam or scheme. Okay. I'm not a scammer. I'm not taking your money and then you won't hear from me ever again. But it's just cool that we worked in the same building. So in personal life, I got a better picture. I keep saying I'm gonna put a better picture up there of my family. We're older now. That's my family. That's my family. We have a Bible study. Aaliyah and we be on Bible studies on Monday mornings. Early Monday mornings, you are invited to come hang out with us. Yes. Also, once a month, I also do a senior lunch and learn for the seniors in Columbus, Ohio, giving them resources. And also, I am a minister, servant of the Lord. Saying all that to say, wow, we have been going through Money Making Mondays. We strong in this thing. Tonight, we have, like I said, Miss Aaliyah Fields, and we're going to be talking about protecting and creating generational wealth. As we keep going, what is generational wealth? What is it? Why are we even talking about this? We're talking about generational wealth because it refers to assets being passed down from one generation within a family, right? This can include financial assets such as cash, stocks, bonds, retirement accounts. It also can be real estate, right? It can be homes, land, rental properties. It can also be businesses, family-owned companies, or equity in businesses. Valuables such as jewelry, art, collectibles, education, funding for college, private schooling, or insurance policies. One reason that I have Miss Aaliyah Fields here tonight is because she's doing all this, right? I'm just not bringing somebody off the street to do this. She's in all this, and it's amazing. Like I said, she's one of the hardest people working in the country. I mean, it don't get harder than this lady. And so with that, the U.S. is in a lot of debt, whole heap of debt the U.S. is in. I'm going to, hopefully this link works. Can y'all see my screen? Y'all see those numbers?
Numbers. I don't see any numbers, but.
You don't see any numbers. Let me stop sharing this one. And let me see if I can share this. Y'all see them numbers?
Yes.
See a whole bunch of numbers. Okay.
Yes.
This is the U.S. debt, right? This is the debt. So if we look under U.S. national debt, this big old number right here, this is hundreds, thousands, millions, billions,
Billions, trillions.
trillions. Okay. We as a country are in $36 trillion worth of debt. Whew, that's a lot. This Doge, this is a new category. They just put this in here
Hmm.
that they're calculating now. This is some more that they're calculating. So each citizen, a portion of their debt of that $1 trillion is about $170,000. Okay, per citizen. But per taxpayer, so this is when it starts getting political, right? Per taxpayer, so you don't have to be a citizen to be a taxpayer, right? So per taxpayer, it's about $323,000 in debt if you took it and you did it a cookie cutter for each person to get a portion of their debt. Okay. Now, if you that's the red, so we know red is bad, right? But the green means good. So the only way that the government is going to make money is if they keep taxing. This is hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. So that's $5 trillion that they're making income, but the debt is 36 trillion. Now, you don't have to have a PhD in mathematics to understand that the math ain't mathing.
Right.
Right? You ain't gotta graduate valedictorian to know 36 and 5 ain't really close to each other. Okay. So that's why all this talk that's going on with the economy, this is what the numbers are. Okay. So let me stop sharing that and get back to my presentation. And then we're gonna have Miss Aaliyah come. Let me go back to where I was. Let me share that. Okay. Y'all see that screen again? I'm back on there.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Pink.
bet.
Okay, perfect. So now, generational wealth disparities. According to the U.S. Census, 2001 survey of income and program participation, household with a white, non-Hispanic householder has a median net worth of 250,000, while a Black householder has a median net worth of $24,000. 250,000 for white, non-Hispanic, 24,000 for Black. Okay.
See, that makes me want to throw up right now. I want to throw, that make my stomach hurt.
See? Yeah. The impact historically is systemic factors. Historically, policies such as redlining and discriminatory lending practices have limited Black families' access to home ownership and financial services, hindering their ability to build wealth. Additionally, difference in education attainment, employment opportunities, investments, income disparities further affect the wealth accumulation. A report by the Institute of Policy Studies suggests that if current trends continue, listen to this, it could take families, Black families, 228 years to achieve the same level of wealth as white families. Okay, 228 years. And for Latino families, it's close to 84 years. Keep this thing going. Asset and ownership. Home ownership, while white Americans are more likely to own their home, 70%, compared to Blacks who are at 38%. Retirement accounts. 65.6% of white households own at least one retirement account with a median balance of 100,000, in contrast to 43.9% for Black households. Okay. Where that Black household, their accounts is only about 23,000 in there. Unsecured debt. Black households are more likely to have an unsecured debt compared to white households at 53%, particularly student loan debts and medical debt for Black families. Okay. Addressing these issues, right? There is going to require some intervention, and these interventions going to include, like you guys, number one, you're doing your part. You're coming on Money Making Mondays and getting financial literacy, right? People are purchasing homes, right? You're getting access to education and employment. So we are doing our part. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yes,
Now,
yes, yes.
there's coming a time, no, not coming. We are in a time right now called the Great Wealth Transfer. The Great Wealth Transfer return refers to the estimated, listen to this number, $84 trillion in assets that the baby boomers and the silent generations are projected to pass down to the younger generations, primarily the millennials and the Gen X by 2025. Okay, so breakdown of the wealth transfer. So there's total about $84.4 trillion that's going to be passed down. Out of that 84.4 trillion, $72 trillion is going to go to heirs, right? The other $11 trillion is going to go to charities and nonprofits. Woo. Right? So, with that being said, generational shares. So, baby boomers, they have about $53 trillion, right? Silent generation, that's anybody that's 78 and up. They have about $16 trillion. Okay. Gen X and millennials are expected to inherit the majority of that money. But is the generation financially literate enough to be able to keep that money for their generation and grow it? Okay. Considerations of the challenge. So first, we got to become financially literate, right? We got to know about money. Then we have to know about the economic conditions, such as inflation, the housing crisis, the housing market, the healthcare costs that are ridiculous. And then we got to understand the importance of estate planning. Not all baby boomers, all the people that got that money, that stuff ain't done right.
No.
They don't have their affairs in order, baby. It ain't in order. A lot of that money gonna be tied up in probate. Okay. So it is important that we have an established comprehensive estate plan that is going to allow us to go through the transferring process correctly. So tonight, we set the stage for Miss Aaliyah Fields, who is, like I said, she's a business owner, she's a homeowner, she's a nonprofit owner, she is a wealth builder, she is, just I'm blessed to know her, blessed to build with her, and she loves the Lord on top of all that. And so, with no further ado, let's give it up for Miss Aaliyah Fields.
Yes. Hey.
Hey. So thank you all for being here tonight. And yes, so I'm extremely passionate about us creating wealth and basically just getting the information. Like we're out here working hard and making all this money now because getting a good job and making some money is no longer a challenge really that like it was for our parents. But what do we do with our money? See, and that's the part for me where I got excited about wanting to go out and talk to other people when I learned about what to do with our money and how to make our money grow for us. And, not just what they tell us. They only give us this much information and they keep leading us down this path when you got this whole bright world on the other side that they keeping all that information to themselves, and you wondering why it always seemed like white folks seem like they always got money, why it always seem like they have wealth, why they always seem like they got money in the bank, and how come we don't seem like we can never have wealth or never have money? Well, this is one of the reasons why. And well, let me pull up my well, Brittany, you want
I
to
want to
share?
show the
Okay.
video. I'm not the video, but your daughters, Jayla.
Okay. Yeah,
You want
so
me to do
one
that
of the
now?
reasons, yeah, you can do that. So I'm gonna show you this. So one of the reasons is this. So, we talk about life insurance policies and they only tell us about certain types of life insurance policies. Life insurance policies that's not about wealth building. It's just really about covering the cost of burial. But it's not teaching us about a life insurance policy that's like okay, you can use this policy to create wealth. You can use money, this thing can grow for you, and you can borrow this money and you can use this money to make big purchases. You want to buy a car, or you need to put a down payment on a house, or your daughter, when they get a certain age, maybe they want to get married or whatever, and they don't have to go out and be a victim of this predatory lending with this 20 something percent interest rates because the credit score is this or that or just whatever. It's just be a bunch of BS. When they can borrow from themselves, they can be the bank. They got their own money. Because when you know what the white folks do, they start these life insurance policies at birth. They buy their kids index universal life insurance policies at birth, and by the time they in their 30s and 40s, they got $300,000-$400,000 worth of money in the bank. And by the time they get to retirement, they get, $1 million policy. And that's if you starting out with a 250 policy. Most of them probably got $1 million policy. So by the time they get there, they several millions of dollars. So this here, I just wanted to show you for my daughters. I have a daughter that's 10 and one is 11, about to be 12. They have little worker bees. They have their own business and their own vending machines. And they take their money every month or every couple of weeks, we go, but I make them say their money and they pay their own premiums. But what they're doing is they're investing their money and they're going to be creating wealth for themselves. And I'm teaching them that. So right now, this is Jayla's policy. $60 a month is what her bill is. Nothing. $60. Let me show you what it's going to look like in 20, when she's 30, 40 years old. All right. So look at this. If you where we at? Let's go down a little bit to maybe like 40 or something. Okay, here's 39 years old, I guess. So by the time she turns 39, I can't see which column is which. If you look over here in the top here, her cash, so she's got a $250,000 policy. Okay, her at 39, her death benefit, which started at 250, is going to be 400,000, and she actually have $150,000 in the bank. Now, how many of you at 39 would like to be sitting on $150,000? How many of you would like to have a car you could just go pay cash for? You ain't got to have a car, no. How many of you want to put 20, 30,000 down on your home, or go buy a fixer upper and fix it yourself and don't have a mortgage at 39 years old? Me, but if somebody told me this is what I would have. But they didn't tell us this. We learning about this now, but that's okay. Better late than never. So, and then by the time she gets retirement age, so at age 65, okay, she'll be retired and she no longer have to contribute to this policy. And so after 65, I mean, she gonna be living her life. She don't have to pay this, but guess what? She got a death benefit of $1 million, 1,146. Okay, 1,200, 1.2 million. She got $950,000 in the bank at 66 years old. 66 is young. I mean, a lot of 60 something years old. We be living our best life in our 60s, and we got $1 million in the bank. Tell me, okay? So this is what I'm talking about. So the reason I'm so like passionate about this, because we could easily be attaining this had we known about this. So that's why I'm here today, and we're going to tell all our friends and all our families about this. And every kid that's born in your family and your friends, that everybody that have a baby, they start from birth. Get these kids life insurance policies, and not just any type of policy. No term life, no whole life. Get them a policy that's going to create wealth, and that's called index universal life insurance policy. All right, that's my pitch on that. Now let's talk about how we going to get there. All right, let's see.
I think I shared it. Let me make you the host so that you can pull up your
Okay.
Excuse me, are we saving questions for after the presentation?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Jot them down. Jot them down, love.
Yeah. Or put them in the chat.
Okay. Yep. All right. Let me get through this. You share it with me already. Okay. Let me share my screen. All right. You see my screen, guys?
Yep. Great.
All right. So let's talk about it. Okay. Wait a minute. Let me move this thing over here. I need this meeting window to get out of my way. Okay, here we go. Let me put it over here somewhere. Okay, so have you guys ever heard of a FIN number? Anybody?
Yes.
You have. Okay, so what tell them what the FIN number is. What you know about a FIN number?
I don't remember exactly, but it's some type of financial number.
Okay,
Mhm.
so our FIN number is the total amount of money that one person would need to be financially independent. So whatever the lifestyle that you're living right now, however much money you spend, to take care of yourself, your kids, pay your bills, live the life that you want to live, we would calculate this number to 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 come up with a figure, and everybody's number is different, to decide what you need to be independent, financially free. So, wanting to become financially independent, I mean, we all want to be financially free, but you need to know what your FIN number is. So, wanting to become independent and not knowing what that number is like going out here to play golf and don't know where the hole is, you just swinging. I'm going to get independent, but, I don't know how much money I need or what that looks like. So, most people, like I say, they want to be independent, but they don't know what that look like. So we calculate this number for you. We calculate how much money you need to save in order to become financially independent. So during the accumulation phase, this is the phase that we're all in now. We're working, and gathering, the money, collecting the income. I'm grinding. I'm accumulating, y'all, because I'm going to be independent. And then we show them what you need to do so that you never run out of money. How that sound? You never want to run out of money. And then you're going to get to your retirement phase. So you accumulate all this money. Now you get to distribution phase, to where now you're going to live off this money. You're going to start, paying yourself. And then you get to the death phase, where, you got to figure out making sure that your assets have been protected so that the government probate don't take 1/3 or half of your money, trying to figure out what to do with your money. So this is where your wills, your trusts are extremely important so that you can protect your assets. All right. So there's 3 rules of money in order to build wealth long term. All right. So one rule is called this compounding effect. All right. The compounding effect, you have this rule of 72. So the rule of 72 is how many years is it going to take to double your money? Okay. So let's look at this. You take the rule of 72 over the rate of return. So 1% return, you invest $10,000, it's going to take you 72 years to double that. Okay. Or 4% return, that's going to take you 18 years to double that. So which one of these, do you think any of these sound good to use if you wanted your assets and you wanted to try to, double your money? Which one of these would be best for you? The 1, the 4, or if you look at the 8, at 8%, that takes 9 years to double your money. And then if you look all the way to the right, you got the 12%. Now, 6 years, every 6 years, you're going to double your money. So in 36 years, you will have $10,000 is going to turn into $640,000. And that's all by investing your money in the right place. And that's through a compounding effect. Okay, so you 8, 12, 1, 4. I'm sure you by now you figured out you want to be at least 8 or 12 or somewhere in between, right?
Right.
All right. And you see that the difference between $10,000 at 4% and 12% is $600,000. So that means you need to know where to put your money so you can have that $600,000 difference. And so that's why you here today, so we can help you figure that piece out. Sorry. All right. So, in the same time period, so 36 years, at 4%, 12%. All right. Now you have the risk effect. Okay, so the risk effect is people either save money in a fixed low rate account, so savings account, CDs account, your money's safe in here. You put it in there and it's going to slowly grow. Okay, then you have these variable accounts. So these are the accounts we know about, like the money market, stock market. So when we up, but when Trump come in, we down. He come crashing in, he done took all y'all's retirement. You got a lot of people now, they right there at retirement. They're watching every single day. They watching they 401k, they watching their balance go down, down, down. The market is so volatile, they losing the money. Okay, so we talked about market goes down, goes up, money goes up, but when it go down, so does your money. Now, have you ever heard of indexing strategies? Anybody heard of indexing strategies? So I know you know about fixed and variable, but you didn't know about indexing, because I tell you, I didn't know about it. And I was mad when I finally learned about it. I'm like, oh man, they've been keeping this secret from me. I'm like, so now you learn about index strategy. So indexing is your money is going to always grow. So even when the market is volatile and other people's money is in the market and is crashing, if you have your money in an index account, there's a floor. It's never going to go below 0. It's never going to go like below 0.75 or 1. So it's still going to grow, but it's going to grow slower. But you're not, the point is you won't lose. You still going to be winning. Mm-hmm. Market goes up, money goes up to a certain percent. But when the market goes down, your money don't go down. You still keep climbing. Have y'all ever heard of Warren Buffett? Well, Warren Buffett is the money man, and he has 2 rules about investing. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Rule number 2, remember rule number 1, don't lose money, dummy. Okay? Now, so the tax effect is the another strategy. So there are 3 ways that we pay taxes on our money. Okay. And I hate paying taxes, I tell you. And I'm trying to figure out how to avoid as much taxes as I can. But anyway, you can pay tax now. Okay. You can have tax deferred. So, tax now, you're going to pay, you're investing your money and they're going to tax you now. You're going to do a tax deferred, that's like putting your money away in the 401, the IRA, the pension, thrift savings. And then later, they're going to tax you. They're going to get you still. But right now, this is the money that's coming out of your paycheck. Maybe your employer is matching you X amount of percent and you're building this up, but it's in this volatile market. So it's going up, down, whatever. But when you get ready to retire, guess what? When you started this job, you might have been making 40,000. By the time you ready to retire, you might be making 150,000. Well, guess what? You're going to get taxed on $150,000 salary versus that $40,000. So your taxes is going to be at a higher rate. And, and so all that money that you see in there, it ain't going to be yours. Now, what you want to do, you want to be in a tax exempt column. Okay. And these are things like the Roth IRAs or the LERPs. So those are your life insurance reinvestment plans. Okay. So we just talked about, pay taxes as you go, pay tax, don't pay tax now, pay later, or you pay tax now, but you don't pay on the gains of your money. So in the LERP, this is you're choosing what to do with your money when you bring it home. So now I'm brought home the money. I done paid all my taxes, done all I need to do. Now I'm going to divvy out my money. I'm going to pay my bills, but guess what? I'm going to pay myself. And paying myself is putting $200 aside a month to dump into this LERP or dump into this Roth IRA. So in summary, you have to know what your FIN number is so you can figure out which direction you need to go, how much money you need to save. So you don't ever want to lose money. So that was rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Never lose money. And to get a good return, you want at least 8%, but 12% would be better, but somewhere in there. And do it in a tax exempt environment. So that's the goal here. So do you think so now in order for us to put together this package for you, we need to do what's called a financial needs analysis. So I think Brittany has probably dropped a link in the chat with the financial needs analysis. This is how we'll figure out what you need to do. So everybody, everybody's number is going to be different, remember. So we'll cover like your cash flow, how you're going to have additional income, how can you manage your expenses. We'll talk about debt management. Maybe you need to consolidate debt. You want to eliminate debt. We'll talk about how to have an emergency fund, because emergency funds is very important. It's all shit's always happening. Flat tire, need a car, this, got to do something here. Kids need whatever money for that. Always need money, so you always want to have emergency funds. Okay, proper protection. You want to make sure that your assets are in the right place and they're protected so that the courts and people don't take them and you don't lose them. You want to build wealth, of course, so we want to do money management, and you want to figure out how to avoid all of this inflation when you got to go to the grocery store and a dozen of eggs cost $20 damn dollars, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay, and then preserve wealth. You want to reduce taxation. See, that's what the rich do. They avoid taxes, don't they? Trump putting in all these rules to protect him and his buddies. We're going to be like him and his buddies. We're going to be one of them billionaire in the billionaire clubs, okay? We're going to avoid these taxes. And we're going to build our family a legacy. They building a family, we're going to build our family, okay? So which one of these would you like to learn more about?
And that's a question for anybody. You can put it in the chat. Which, if with her going through this, which out of all 6 of these, which one or two jumps out at you?
Yep. Tell me what. So for you,
or you can come off mute.
Oh yeah, or that. What speaks to you like immediately? Like you think maybe you need to create an emergency fund, or you want to build wealth, or and there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong, but what for you, what's your immediate need, you think? Anybody? Did anybody drop something in the chat?
No, everybody's shy.
Why y'all quiet over there?
I
Talk to me.
I want to build wealth and debt management.
Okay.
Okay, we got somebody in the chat that said, good job, thank you for
Thank
that
you.
comment. We got somebody in there that said cash flow.
Cash flow, yes.
Yeah, I would say cash flow as well right now.
Cash flow. Okay, we had another
All right.
cash flow.
Who is that? Oh, somebody clap. I was gonna say, okay, Jamie. All right. So, and like we said, there's no no right or wrong answer. So, all of them for me, if you ask me, I'm doing it all. So, well, in order for us to help you get there, and don't think, some people might feel like, or you might be in a position where you're thinking, how can I ain't got no money to save, or I need to figure out how to get rid of this debt. Well, this is the beauty of us and the team that we have and we have built. We can help you figure out these strategies to get there. You don't think that you may not have money to save, but you do. That's why this financial needs analysis is so important, because we're going to show you how to figure out whichever one of these or 2 or 3 of these or whatever you want to do. We're going to show you how to do that. And believe me, it's easier. You can do it. It's easier than you think, honestly. And you realize how much money you waste. I waste so much money on BS, going out, stopping here, buying junk. Who you might play the lottery, you might, go out and do too much social activities. There's stuff that we could live without, or that we could trim down, and we can take that money and put it to invest in ourselves to be able to create wealth. So this is how we will get there. So if you're interested in this, I really, really encourage you to fill out this the link in the chat, the form that Brittany dropped, and let's get together and figure out what your needs are, and let's help you get there. Let's help you reach your financial independence.
Amen. Can I piggyback off something you said, and then I'm going to answer Michelle's question.
All right.
To piggyback off what you said, we make, whoever thought, you back in the day, somebody say, oh, I make $30 an hour. Woo, they make that guy making good money, $30 an hour. Good, googly moogly, right? We are not broke.
Right.
We are not broke people. That is a lie from the devil. You are not broke. Now, you may have a broke mindset, right? You may have bad spending habits, but you are not in the poor category of life.
Yeah, we're not in survival mode no more.
You
and
don't
it's money
check
to
that
be
box.
made.
You are not in the poor category. However, what the categories that we do often find ourselves in is the poor mentality, or the making poor decisions, right? Think about this. From the time that you got your first job ever. I don't care if it was at my first job, y'all. Okay, I was at Boston Market. That was my first job. Hated it. Okay. First job was Boston Market chicken joint. Whew, have flashbacks of it. Up until present moment, I'm 40 years old. So from your first job until however old you are now, how much money do you think has passed through your hands? How much money do you think has passed through your hands from the day that you got your first job until present day? Some of y'all may count it up and it may be $500,000. Some may count it up, it may be, close to $1 million then pass through your hands. Then my next question is going to be, where's the money now? Where is it? Somebody said $1 million. $1 million then pass through your hands. Where is the money now? Somebody said it's gone. Oh, Aaliyah, you on mute. You on mute, Aaliyah. What'd you say?
Right. I ain't got nothing to show for it, right? No, I got a few things, but right. What she say? She ate most of her money.
Most of it.
I know.
But that's the thing. When we thinking about it in that type of mindset and that type of numbers, it kind of make you sick to your stomach how much money that you done went through. You and I have gone through. And so, saying all that to say, we are not broke. A person who has been through $1 million is not a poor person. You do not qualify for that category. However, we got to change our mindset around money. Okay. Number two, next thing is the question that was in the chat. And the question that was in the chat was, you mentioned borrowing money from the policy. How is the repayment plan set up? And is it added to the back end of the policy? What percentage of the borrowing? So with that being said, can y'all hear that in the background? Just FYI, can y'all hear the crying? Oh, you on mute, Aaliyah. You can't hear it? Okay.
No
right.
crying. I thought
okay, because it's a meltdown happening right now in my household. So I'm like, okay.
I'm shifting.
So with that being said, there's something called a wash loan. That's what I was saying. It's called a wash loan. And what a wash loan does is that basically when you take the money out of the policy, you're taking it out at from the cash value, not the death benefit. Okay. When you take the money out from the cash value, not the death benefit, the insurance company is going to charge a loan interest. That loan interest is maybe 4 to 6%, right? This is a loan, it's not a withdrawal. Okay. So you don't pay taxes on the loan. So that's how you get the tax exempt strategy. So when you're taking the money out as a loan, right, then the cash value is still compounding. When the cash value is compounding, it's earning whatever the interest rate, the index is crediting. So as Leah was saying, the policy that she showed you for her and for her daughters, that policy is indexing at roughly 10%. Okay. So even if you take the money out as at a 4 or 6% rate, your policy is still earning at a 10% rate. So you're still up potentially 4 to 6%, depending on what the loan rate is. All right. So then that means that really there's no cost for the loan. So then that's where you get the wash loan from. Now, for a lot of times, for that loan to happen, that wash loan to happen, you can take the money out. However, certain policies, companies, depending on what company you write the plan through, they may give a period, right? So they may not show that there's any cash value in the policy for the first, 3-4 years, right? Why? Because I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. If I left Oreo cookies on the table. No, if I left Oreo cookies on the table and walked away, went downstairs and washed some clothes, came back, they would devour every morsel of the Oreo cookies. Okay. There would not be a morsel left. Same way with these insurance policies. If you are not used to having cash, saving, stacking funds, and then you have access to it, then you will actually take that money out. Okay. So in order to not do that, then they don't give you access to it. Though the money's there, it just takes you a little while for it to show accessible, and you don't get access to all of it up front. Okay. Does that answer your question, Miss Michelle?
Yes, another one question to that.
Yes.
Once you create a policy, what is the time frame before they will allow you to borrow?
It just depends on the plan. Each
Gotcha.
company is different.
Each company is different. That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? This is good stuff. And the companies, just so that you know, each company is different. Now, Aaliyah and I, we are, part of Wealth Builders. So we have good companies that we work with. Nationwide, we do, our company, Transamerica, we do over 50% of Nationwide's policies. Our company writes, right? We write more policies of Nationwide than Nationwide. Transamerica, which is our broker dealer, right? This is a huge company. This is $1 trillion company that's owned by Aegon, in which Aegon is a company that is over, is an international company. Okay. So that company is one of the companies that's too big to fail. You know how you got those big companies that's too big to fail, or the whole world. That's the type of companies we work with. Fidelity is another company we work with. We work with Vanguard, Prudential. So these are all reputable companies. This is not like JoJo's insurance joint, right?
Right.
Bookies insurance jump off. Like, nah, these are really good companies. You call, they answer. So that's that. Any other questions? Any other questions? Well, I think. If not, I believe in my heart this was a beautiful evening. I know I was blessed by it. I hope that you guys were too. I want to thank Aaliyah Fields. She, as you see, she jumped on another location because she got to get to another spot. So I'm just very thankful and grateful that she took the opportunity to come hang out with us tonight, to give her passion, right? She's a hardworking woman who has so many different ventures that she has going on. But she absolutely loves financial literacy and loves people, loves people, and then loves financial services and financial
You're
education. So
welcome.
thank you
You're
so much
welcome,
for that.
everybody. And if you all share the information, now you all learn a few things, pass it on. Anybody want to know more, connect with us. And I'm encourage you all to even just connect to, and it don't cost you nothing. All we need is a little bit of your time. Get you a financial needs analysis, figure out what that number is, and let us show you the solutions. Let us show you how you can get to that point, and you'll be amazed. Honestly, you'll be amazed that right now you can start creating wealth, and you got to have different streams of ways of creating wealth, so it's going to be multiple things that will get you there, but we can show you some ways to get there, and it won't cost you a lot of money. The money that you will be putting into this is going to be well worth it in the long run for you and for your children, your grandchildren, when that time comes. So
yeah, definitely that. So thank you so much, everyone. Let's thank you, Aaliyah, very, very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
To the moon and back. So listen, you guys, listen, a birdie on the street wanted me to drop something in your ear. I was told that this information was good information and to keep the ball rolling. I'm like, well, as long as people come back, I keep having these things, right? Because I usually only do this once a year. This is a lot, right? But I'm gonna push it back one more month, for the month of May, if you guys are willing to come. Okay. You find this informative and you want to come, I'll keep it going.
I got some more stuff to tell y'all then. Y'all got some more. I got some more tea for y'all if y'all want to come back.
If y'all go keep coming back. Oh, she said, I'll be back. Okay, Miss Dominique said, I'll be there. All right, Miss Dominique, bring somebody with you. So next week, yes, part 2 and 4. Okay, yes. So we're gonna have some people coming back. So next week, me too. Okay, all right, we got some people coming. So next month, this is what we're gonna be looking at. Next week, we're gonna have she's not on tonight, but my best friend, call her Tink. Her name is Rose. She is the owner of Salon Suites in Cleveland. She is going to be talking about how to get into the distribution of products, how to open, if you have a desire to have a suite in that space, co-working spaces. That's a huge thing that's going on right now. I have a co-working space. I don't have an office, but I have a co-working space where I go and I set up and I work for the day, right? I don't want a big office. I don't need all that. I just want a little co-working space, right? So salon suites, co-working spaces, how that's working. That's a big venture right now for a lot of people that's self-employed. Also, she's a distributor. She has gone to China and has contacts in China with people for her brand. How do you get into that space? Also, so then following that, we're going to have someone that's going to be coming talking about, just backtrack. So say, for instance, you want your own product. So say, for instance, you want your own makeup line, or you want your own hair care product, or you want your own bubble gum, perfume, whatever it is that you want your own of, how to go directly to the source to get that and cut out the middleman. And she's done it and she's excited to teach others. Then the next week after that, we have Miss Kristen from Global Atlantic. Global Atlantic is a financial service company, and she's going to be talking about annuities. She's going to be talking about how we can get into this annuity, create our own Social Security, right? We don't know if Social Security going to be there when we go need it. We don't know if it's even going to be a thing, right? So we need to be creating our own guaranteed income, our own pensions, and we can do that through annuities. Okay, so that's going to be the
that's big.
second.
That's one of those secrets too that we didn't know about is an
Right.
annuity. You know, you may have heard of it, but never really like knew what it was. They kind of throw it all in the bag with 401k and annuities, but they don't tell us about annuity. They just tell us about 401k. But
Yeah, we're gonna create our own. We creating that for ourselves. So we ain't got it. We're gonna be good. If the government don't got it, we good.
Yeah.
And that's guaranteed income for the rest of your life. And then on the the third weekend, the third Monday, I need a weekend. The third Monday is going to be, we're going to be talking about, his name is Larry. He's going to be talking about AI, how to couple AI into our business, how to use AI to maximize your business ideas. We are in a phase and a stage in life where we don't even need to think no more. We just got to show up. AI does everything, right? But our people need to understand how AI works so we can be competitive. We need to understand robotics. We got to understand funneling and systems and all that stuff so that we can either enhance our business or we can even tap into the business and start a business in AI. So that's and then the fourth Monday, of course, is Memorial Day, and everybody's going to be eating ribs and potato salad, hamburgers. So ain't nobody coming to
I'm gonna talk to Miss Brittany, but I got one more gem I want to drop on y'all if we gonna be able to incorporate that. I don't want to tell you but you gonna want that.
Shoot now. She gonna make me go to June now. Now it's gonna be June. I can't get
I know we gotta get that last Monday in.
All right, cool. So awesome. So I will see y'all next week. We're gonna keep this thing rolling. This has been excellent. I'm very thankful, and we're gonna change. That transfer of wealth is coming, and we are going to be able to be a part of that. If it may not be that you are going to be receiving, right? You are going to be in the position to help navigate it. You gonna make some money off of it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be facilitating the transfer. Right. So even if ain't nobody leaving you nothing, you're gonna be in a position to say, hey, I'll go ahead and assist you with that. All right. So let's get it. Let's go. Make sure you go hit the link so we can have you sit down and we can get this ball rolling for you. Okay. You guys have a wonderful night.
Yes. Peace and blessings, everyone. And look forward to helping you get there.
Yes. And this is the one that was in there screaming. So say bye to everybody.
Great job.
Thank you, ladies.
Have a great night.
Thank you.
Good night.
See y'all
Thank
Monday.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna call you, Aaliyah.
All right.
All right, bye.